Hello, hello, Ederson Oliveira here for DNNHero.com. Today we have a full house. We have new face coming along to join us. Ralph, how are you? Welcome to the group.
Hi, thanks. Yep, glad to be here.
Perfect. Joe, how are you, Joe?
I'm great. Happy fall to all of you guys.
Scott, how are you, Scott?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Very good, very good.
It,
So,
it is cooling up a bit.
cooling up a bit, cooling up a bit. So, just want to start by, by mentioning about the new face that we have there. Ralph, why did I invite you again?
I don't know, why did you? I'll be working on some sessions for theming and working on introducing some theming concepts for us. Some working on maybe some of the basics. Talking about what is a theme, the anatomy of a theme, and just really want our everybody to be able to understand how to make their own theme, to be able to make anything from complex to even basic, whatever it is that their needs are, to be able to just really understand the theming engine of DNN and the power that's involved. Also possibly working with teams and theming, and using some of the advanced modern techniques of development in your theming process. So
Perfect.
yeah.
So again, the idea is that Ralph will be starting from the basics and make sure that this is well covered in terms of theming. That was one of the weak areas on DNN Hero. We have myself covering the admin side. You have Scott covering the coding aspects of DNN, and I hope that we get strong as well on the theming, on the skinning side of DNN with Ralph join the initiative, join the group, and starting with the basics, and then going towards more advanced topics as we move towards 2017 and on. But in terms of news, which is the point of this talk, we have DNN and DNN 9 being announced. We have in a way we had a short-lived DNN 8 there, which lasts for 2016. So the idea is that DNN 9 will come up early, very early, actually towards the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, before we go on the DNN Summit. So that's what is happening right now. Joe Brickman is very active, promoting the new DNN 9. I will be talking this coming Friday, which is, let's see, September 30th. I'll be talking to him. I'll be interviewing him about DNN 9. I don't want to cut in his interview, but I just want to mention a few points on DNN 9. One of the main aspects, the main reasons behind DNN 9 is really to revamp the entire admin experience, the host level experience. That will be revamped, and it will come closer to what is already there on Evoke, which is the persona bar. So what we know as of now on DNN 8, DNN 7 as the admin and host functionalities, they will all be rewritten to be embedded into the persona bar. And again, there's a lot that goes on there. There's over just about 20 modules that will be rewritten for the persona bar. Persona bar works in a different way as compared to regular modules on DNN. It's not really modules, it's a different concept. It's not web form based, it's really SPA driven. It's all SPA driven. So those admin modules, they need to be rewritten for this new persona bar that will be incorporated into DNN 9, and that's one of the main pushes, the main reasons for the DNN 9. Aside of that, again, less dependency on web forms, less dependency on Telerik. Actually, the persona bar does not use Telerik at all. So again, trying to get rid of Telerik more and more. Again, keeping the upgrade path of DNN from DNN8 to DNN7 to DNN9, as easy as possible. So that will be kept as well, and to allow developers to use more modern, frameworks, UI frameworks. That's all part of the reasons behind DNN9. Again, very similar admin experience as Evoke, very lightweight interface there with based on HTML, CSS, and Web API as well, and a lot of other front-end technologies, which I'll be talking a lot with Joe this coming Friday. What else we have here? There. Oh, by the way, it's responsive as well, because it's one of the big pet peeves on DNN in general is the admin side that is not responsive. So it is responsive as well. And on top of that, we're gonna break away the dependency, the worries that the theme developers have quite a lot, which is, okay, is this will this conflict with will this theme or skin, plugin conflict with the admin side of DNN? And because it's iframe based, this should no longer be a problem as well. So a lot of advantages on this new admin approach on DNN9. In terms of performance as well, the performance should be way better as compared to the current control panel, control bar that we have on DNN7, DNN8. Anything here that I have missed, guys? I mean, Scott, you know a little bit, Joe as well. Anything?
I think from conversations with Will Morganwick and others, some about the new Engage version as well, about it looks to me like, and I guess I can't say for sure, but I think what we'll see in a few months. But one of the other gaps that was created in trying to move off of the web forms model. I mean, I guess the theme of DNN9 is we're not moving off web forms because we can't break functionality by moving completely to core CLR. But what we are trying to do is take a big step forward by completely rewriting admin functionality such that it's not using web forms. It's basically all SPA now. And but what the problems that a little bit that is creating with moving that, and people that have watched my tutorials about module development, MVC development, will see that being used to the web forms, they had a lot of pre-built controls, which a lot of them were wrapped Telerik components, the file picker, file uploader, any of the skin tokens or things like that. They're all web forms based type things. And so you no longer have access to those in your module. So what do? Well, in the case of the SPA tutorial that I did based on that restaurant module example that I wrote, I had to write my own, file upload piece that was based on a drop zone component, right? And one thing that I think that they're doing, I saw this in the Engage when I looked at their style guide. For one, they're actually going to provide a style guide, which is amazing. I don't know if you've seen it, Ralph. I think they showed, Will showed it off on the last, but we now have a style guide, like for all the admin and for the persona bar that's going to be created, so that we could fit our custom module functionality into it to be hooked in. The other thing is they're going to actually create reusable React. I think they're going to be React-based components. So now that we're missing date pickers and file pickers and things that we liked using those React Telerik controls, they're now going to be providing out of the box some of those things as React components. So that's encouraging, because so that we're not having to rebuild everything. Every time I want a file picker or a date picker, I've got to figure out, how to implement it.
Perfect. Okay. And by the way, there's nothing yet on GitHub for DNN9, but it's coming. It should be coming in the next week or so, because I will be doing a lot of video reviews as those modules get converted to the persona bar. I'll be doing video reviews on modules that were converted. So you will be hearing a lot from me personally talking about the different modules getting converted, and yeah, so that will be happening in the next few weeks as they get ready, as they are usable. What else we have here? Okay, so that's about it. DNN9, you're gonna be hearing more and more about that as we go along. I would like to jump to DNN Summit. The only new information that I have at this point is that I will be presenting the full day track again on DNN administration. So right now, Ryan Moore, I own you the outline of the session, because now that session was broken into introduction to DNN, which is a half-day track, and then there is this other track which is a full day track on DNN administration. So whatever is basic will be left to the DNN introduction, and the more advanced part will be kept on the DNN administration track that I'll be doing for a full day. This time around I'll be setting so my back will not kill me as it did last time. And again, dates are January 18th. I have it open here in front of me, 18th to the 23rd. Joe, do you have anything new to add to about the event?
Well, I think that we shouldn't name too many names, but there are people sitting here who could say, hey, guess what I'm doing at DNN Summit? So I'll let them do that. For me, I will be locked in a special room during parts of the event, and we're going to run essentially a help desk at DNN Summit. So for people who come with I've got to go to DNN Summit and get an answer to this one particular question, there will be a place to go to try and get an answer. And I'm going to be recruiting people to help staff that help desk.
Joe, is that on Friday? Sorry, is that on Friday? When is that?
I was thinking because Friday is the main session, so it's going to be on Friday, and I expect we'll have it open on Thursday as well.
Okay.
And exactly what hours, how much of it will be going on while other sessions are going on remains to be seen. We should probably say that speakers have been selected and notifications went out, I think, yesterday. So expect very shortly to see all of that information published on the website, as well as the identities of the people presenting the training sessions. And I don't know, Scott, you may have something to say about that.
Well, I did not submit a session this year at all, but I am in talks with Ryan and as well as Adderson. I'm likely going to do the full day developer training.
Perfect. Okay, very good. Very good.
Also, I'll be presenting 2 sessions during that. I'll be presenting theming with consistency and quality, kind of trying to make sure we get a good base foundation for theming. Did I say skinning? I don't know. And then also introduction to SPA module development, just the, from a front-end developer's perspective of how to get into module development. So I'll be presenting on those 2.
Yeah, great. I mean, Ralph has been bleeding over the development side of the of the equation as well.
And don't forget the DNN Summit lasts through Sunday afternoon. So 2 days of recreation and fun will follow the educational part of the event.
That's really the whole reason I'm going. So.
I'm still thinking about that. I'm not a snow guy, but I don't know. Let's see. That's to be seen. That's to be seen. Okay, so one last note about DNN Summit is that for the people that join my session, my full day session on the last DNN.com, I'll be sending a survey just to ask more details about your experience there. Because I mean, tell me what I did right, tell me what I did wrong there, because I want to do the next one better. I mean, the feedback that I have so far, I cannot, it's not juicy enough for me to change anything on my session. So I assume that I can make it better. So I will reach out to whoever joined me on my full day training session to ask what was right and what was wrong there, so I can make the next one better to whoever will be showing up to listen to me for 8 hours.
Yeah, by the way, that's also something we were trying to do with the summit in general, is just getting some more of that kind of feedback, because we know that presenters would like to hear that feedback most of the time, you know, to be able to fix things for, you know, for the next time, and whether it's the same talk another time or even it's a different talk, just getting that kind of feedback is invaluable to a presenter. So you know, we're definitely going to be trying to get some specific surveys on the sessions and also on the conference as a whole, but we're gonna, you know, it's one of the things we're looking to do a little better this year.
Perfect. Okay, so I think that's it for now on the DNN Summit. Again, every chat, we're going to update you guys with more and more details as they come along.
Actually, there's one other thing before we meet again. The early bird registration date will have passed. So if you know you're coming and you register, I think it's October 16th is the cutoff date. Substantial savings for registering early.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I just want to highlight that if you know that you're coming, book your hotel, because then we according to Cassidy and the other, you know, people involved on that, we can keep the rates longer and we can secure more rooms, whatever it is. But if you know that you're coming, book your hotel. I did mine already. So again, book your hotel so you can secure, I don't know, more rooms or the rates for longer. Not sure, but something around that. Book your room if you know that you're coming.
And just to let you know, the official end of the early bird discount that is October 22nd. So.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving along here, I just saw, not fully, I didn't see it fully, but I saw partially the last hangout of the Southern Fried DNN user group, where David Rodriguez, a cloud team lead engineer from DNN Corp, spoke a lot, over an hour, about hosting DNN on Azure. What to do, what not to do. So again, great resource for whoever wants to, you know, give it a shot on Azure and see how DNN will perform there. So again, very in-depth and with do's and don'ts about hosting DNN on Azure from David Rodriguez of DNN Corp. So he talks about installing DNN on Azure, pricing structure, scaling options, DNN and application insights. So the link is there, and all those links will be posted in the video notes. Moving along here, a few blog posts. Actually, a big one from, that's the first one here, from Joe Brickman. He goes into DNN9, talking about, you know, the background, what are the goals, some of the stuff that I have mentioned already, and some of the stuff that we're going to be talking this coming Friday. So again, definitely check out DNN9 and the future of the DNN platform. That's a blog post from Joe Brickman. The next blog post here that I have is, you know, Daniel Mettler. I mean, he is the most prolific, you know, blogger here. It seems so. So announcing Angular 2. So he talks a little bit about Angular 2, you know, if it's ready for production or not. So if you are curious about Angular 2, have a look at this rough introduction from Daniel Mettler of Angular 2 and DNN. Have you played around, Scott, with Angular 2 by any chance yet?
Not yet, not at all. I was gonna start toying around with React, so too many new things to play with, I guess.
Toy around, yes, a lot. Okay, so moving along here. Again, I would like this segment here to be, featuring new modules, new themes, or even just new releases of existing modules, both from the DNN store and from the Forge as well. So I'm going to start with the DNN store. So a few new releases of Oniac Tech, ads. I have not used this before, but hey, Oniac Tech, they have a great set of modules. Advanced Biz Map module. I have used this in the past. It's a very interesting module to plot locations on a map. 2sex contents. That's another. I mean, Daniel and his team, they are always releasing patches and new updates for 2sexy content. A new sticker as well from CMS DNN module. I have never heard about those guys, but hey, it's there. Power Forms as well from DNNGo.net. I really like the stuff from DNNGo.net, more towards their themes. And that's pretty much it. In terms of themes, I would like to feature some that I really like from Just DNN, which, by the way, justdnn@gmail.com. You are the guy, Gmail account, you should change that. But anyway, but again, great skin. I mean, this Nexon thing here looks quite, sharp. It's again very clean, very modern. So I really like what they have done. They or he has done or she has done here. I'm not sure who's behind that. So very clean and very nice looking theme called Nexon. Another one from Just DNN again, which in a way links back to what I mentioned on the last video, which is creating themes or templates that are vertical based. This is a hotel theme, which looks quite nice, and again, it's good to see a vertical specific theme or template, because it's really about the template. It's really about the content that goes inside the theme that will make a theme a hotel or a restaurant or whatever it is, a lawyer's website. So I really like this one here. Another one from Just DNN. And from the Forge, a few releases that I see on the site, a lot of jQuery libraries from Brian Dukes, System.js polyfills. I mean, I think some of those controls, Scott, I mean, Brian has a lot of libraries that I think that they aid to creating controls. Even I think there is a date picker here as well. See, a charge control, a flex slider. So again, those seem to be a clipboard. I saw something here about a date picker. Anyway, I think that someone can leverage some of those controls to build their own UI elements, internal elements. I think that this is mostly what Brian Dukes does here with those JavaScript libraries that he releases.
Right. Yeah, it just helps developers to be able to streamline registration of scripts and organizing them.
Very true, very true. Okay, so, and again, just in the Forge as well, there are a few, Hammerflex, which is the skin from Chris Hammond, the open source theme that he created and he supports. There's a new release. Turbo SQL scripts from Sebastian Leopold. It's interesting. I should be using those scripts a lot more than what I actually use them, but I'm usually a bit concerned that, if I recall that correctly, if you run those scripts and you need to upgrade your DNN site, you have to revert back some of those scripts. So that usually, worries me a little bit, that I have to remember that if I need to upgrade that site, I have to revert some of that. So that's the reason why I don't use too much of the Turbo SQL scripts from Sebastian, but I might be mistaken. So I don't think I am, but I might be. In any case, there is a new release from Turbo SQL SQL scripts from him. What else we have here? Some things from yeah, there's a DNN task manager from Konstantin Boyarinov, and it seems to be a module that works with tasks from on DNN. I have not tried this one, but there is a new release just 2 days ago. Maybe that's his first time releasing to the Forge, and of course a new release of Too Sexy Contents too. A few releases from Hotcakes. This is coming from Will Stroll, and it's about all around working with Hotcakes e-commerce. One to import images, and the other one to import products into the Hotcakes commerce module. That's about it for the Forge. I also saw, I don't know where I saw this, but again, I came across a new release from 40 Fingers style helper skin object to manipulate to manipulate CSSs and JavaScript libraries on the header of pages. I've not used this before, but I may want to have a look at it. So there's a new release that just happened this week on September 23rd of this skin object.
I've used that in the past, and that's had some really nice features, especially before DNN was integrating some of those things and being able to set the zoom level for responsive, for mobile devices, and but he still has some things in there that are that you can unload CSSs if you don't want them, and there's still some other things in there that are specific that you can't do with DNN, but it's a pretty good tool.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Great that you have worked with that before, Rolf. Okay, so we are coming.
One more. There's a new release of open content from somewhere in Europe. It's a structured content module, and I saw some discussion of something that just kind of took me right back to my DNN roots. Some of the European folks are using a module called GAF, Yet Another Forum. That was the thing that led me to DNN way back when, but this particular discussion was tools for migrating forum content from the active forum module into the Yet Another Forum module. I don't know that people use forums all that much anymore, but it appears that there are at least now 2.5 viable forum modules in the DNN ecosystem.
Got it. Actually, that's funny you mentioned about the Yet Another Forum module, because just this past week we have upgraded a site on Deskpal that is using that module, and it worked well. The upgrade worked well. We had to upgrade the Yet Another Forum module as well. It did upgrade correctly, so it's still active. It's still working. People are still maintaining that project as well. So again, it's still there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I thought that I picked up in some of the conversation that there's some people in the DNN community who've kind of taken a major role in the development of YAP, but I'm not sure about that.
Got it. I see. Okay. So we're coming towards the end here, and there is a segment that I have not been doing lately, but I want to get back to. That is, the tip of the month. So I brought one tip of the month, which is more of a tool. This has nothing to do with DNN, but it's whatever tools I use in my tool belt, I try to bring that forward and promote that as well. If it works for me, it might work for somebody else out there too. So this month, I want to mention about a tool called Streak, streak.com. This is a CRM tool that you can install as a plugin, as an add-on to your Gmail account or to your Google Apps account. If you have a business account on Google and you use the Gmail interface, it works very well. It works very nicely. You don't have to have an external CRM tool to be able to deal with clients, not so much deal with clients, but deal with prospects. Moving a prospect from a lead to an opportunity, and then have a sales pipeline. Very good tool. It starts from $0. There's a free option, free version. I use the paid one, the very initial paid one starter. Very good tool. I've been using this for about 2 months now, and for Deskpal, and it works like a charm. One of the main features that I like is that it's hard for you to remember to follow up with a lead, with a prospect. It's hard to remember to follow up with that person. So that's when a CRM tool like that comes in place very nicely to remind you, hey, you haven't touched base with this person for 2 months now. It's time for you to reach out to them and see if they need anything. So again, if you are involved in selling a product, a service, you may want to have a look at streak.com for Gmail. With that, I'm done here. Any one of you guys have anything else to add? Anything at all?
No. Other than we've got a lot going on with DNN Summit, and it's going to be a really good time, and pretty excited to see what all is happening. And this one, I feel like we've started planning a lot earlier than we had been with some of the other conferences, and it's really given us a chance to kind of think through things, and also I think kind of build the excitement earlier on. And but I think we've definitely made some pretty big changes in how we're approaching it. But I think it's going to be really good. I think the community is going to really appreciate the level of quality involved. So.
And just to add to that, when you see the program, you'll see a number of topics that go a little bit beyond the traditional DNN conference topics. And to echo Ralph, starting early really has some advantages. We have probably 2.5 conferences worth of session submissions, and the good part of that is we got to pick and choose a really good conference. The bad news is we had to leave a lot of really good stuff off of the program. So I hope that people who submitted sessions and may not have had their favorite session picked for the conference will keep that warm on a burner somewhere and submit it to a future DNN Summit event. So speaking as the one who's got a conference off, but with not a lot of planning, I was struggling to fill up the program, and we spent, 2.5, almost 3 hours last week trying to figure out how to put 10 pounds of conference submissions into a 5-pound program bag. So it was good, and it was difficult.
Perfect. That's great. I mean, that's I was wondering about the speaker submissions, and as based on what you were telling me, it's very very exciting, and a lot of people want to talk, I guess.
Yeah, we also have.
You'll see. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say, you'll see familiar names. You'll see names you haven't seen for a while, and you'll see, who the heck is that person? New names presenting at DNN Summit. So there will be something there for everyone.
Yep, and we're also going to have some speakers from some pretty big names coming in too, so that's going to be pretty neat. Some of that kind of thinking outside the DNN box, which I think is going to be really exciting for trying to expand DNN, a bit more. And so, being able to bring in some of those, like I said, recognizable names from recognizable places is going to be pretty exciting.
Perfect. Very good. Very good. Okay, so that's it for now. I just once again, Ralph, I just want to welcome you to the DNN Hero family, and again, be welcome, and looking forward to see lots of great stuff from you. That's about it. Two big things: DNN 9 and DNN Summit. That's really the theme of this chat. That's it for now, guys. Thank you very much, and enjoy the fall. That's it. See you next month.
Right.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.